All right. Welcome everyone. I know sometimes Jake's like, are you going to start us off this week or am I going to start us off?
We have no structure. We're structureless when it comes to the beginning of this podcast.
Yes.
All right. Well, let me just start then because you
Yeah.
guys are amazing. I thought that was the funniest thing just listening to it. Man, that intro is classic. I
Nice.
love it.
You like that? It's like
I
we're
love
just going to give it all to you right there.
Let's go.
So, all right. So I, of course, am Marie Baginski, one of your hosts, and my partner, Jake Remillard, and it is Halloween 2023. So
And nobody's dressed up. Nobody's doing anything. We're
well,
all,
okay. I don't have my shirt on, but I have my pants on. Can I stand up? Okay.
As long as you
You
have
are
pants
wearing a
on,
shirt, which is good. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Okay. I have the pants.
Oh, there we
I have the pants to my outfit, and so my 8-year-old decided he wanted to be the Grim Reaper. So we decided the rest of the family were all going to be like skeletons, but also like we have like the hats that have like, the sword going through the head and like whatever. So it's like he's the Grim Reaper coming to take us all as we die. So
Nice.
that's our theme for this year.
Yeah.
Anyway, this week we are live with our guest Brandon Elliott. So welcome, Brandon.
What's up, guys? Good to see you, and I appreciate you guys for having me on. This is fun.
Yeah, awesome. So Brandon, we're gonna get into all the different things, but I want to know you're like full-time entrepreneur, heavy in the credit game, credit counseling, which all entrepreneurs need, and also a real estate investor. So just real quick, give everybody your kind of background. How'd you get started? How like this entrepreneurship journey or real estate? How'd you get started?
Yeah. So, I grew up in New Jersey, single parent mother. She was labeled manic depressive bipolar. So like we grew up on Section 8 food stamps, no father figure. So my entrepreneur spirit came in at a very young age of selling drugs. And that was big in my neighborhood.
I love that. I think this is the first person that we've had talk about selling drugs.
It's the first person that admits it. Okay, I'm the only
No. We've definitely had drugs on the show before.
I sold drugs and cigarettes in college. Okay,
I sold cigarettes in high school to get money to go to my prom. People were paying like $1 for a cigarette. I got my mom to buy me packs of cigarettes, and I would like take them at the counter.
Yeah, the cigarette game it's strong. Like even in the military too, you go training rotations and everything. People just buy like cartons and cartons, and then you get out there for like 3 or 4 weeks, and everybody's out, and you're like, okay, $25 a pack. Here we go.
It's so crazy too. I judged them so hard as I was selling. I would be like, "Oh, you're disgusting." But then being a big pothead and selling weed and all other drugs, I was like, "Yeah, go for it. Have a good time." Really stupid. But yeah, long story short, I was selling marijuana, other drugs. I started working at a very young age. I was trying to get my first job at age 9. That didn't work out, but I finally got blessed with a job at age 12. And I was working.
Okay, what kind of job did you get?
Yeah, what you can't leave.
That's what I want to know. Like, are you working on the local deli counter? Like,
no, I was working in the back of it was called Bush's Seafood Restaurant in Sea Isle, New Jersey. So a local lady at my church ended up giving me the hookup to work in the back. I was working the glass machine and coffee bar and like ice cream parfaits and stuff like that. So it was an amazing opportunity. It was under the table, obviously. You couldn't do much there. And so it was just a great opportunity. But that's where, over time, I started just going down the wrong path. I went down the wrong path for way too long. I didn't have any really huge goals except to sell as much marijuana or other drugs so that I can get enough to buy maybe a farm where I could grow more. It was like just stupid things. Yeah. I didn't have male, good guidance in my life to be able to guide me properly. And long and behold, I ended up having an explosion in my apartment making hash oil. And that changed my life because I was like, all right, now I'm on fire. I burnt 40% of my body. I had to learn how to walk again. I was induced into a coma. I went through 3 surgeries. Like, it was a nightmare.
Hold on,
And
Brandon, real quick. This is actually a PG show, so.
yeah. Just tone it down a bit. Tone it down.
No, I was just kidding.
I'm just talking about my fuck ups here, just to be really blunt.
Dude, you lit yourself on fire.
It was an explosion in my apartment. I got tossed about 5 feet into my living room. I was on my like bent over, kind of like just huddling down, making hash oil, and I was wearing like basketball shorts. I was wearing socks, and I was wearing a white t-shirt. I was trying to make a quick batch, a bigger batch than normal, so that I could run out, go surfing, and get a burrito. And the California lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, long and behold, big explosion in my apartment. I was on fire. I got up. I was like, oh shit, all the windows burst out of my apartment. I knew, like, I'm going to jail because I had like 100 plants I had gardens basically in my living room, in my bedroom. I had a lot of like 5-6 pounds of weed in my house, just paraphernalia everywhere, to say the least, right? Yeah. And I was just like, holy shit, life is changing right here, right now. And it's not the life that I was anticipating, but it was exactly what I needed, truthfully. Like, I needed something drastic. With my personality type, if I would have got a little slap on the wrist, nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know? So God knew exactly what needed to take place. And it was just like a shake the shit out of Brandon with an explosion type of thing.
That's fascinating. I mean, I've been through some Tony Robbins seminars, and he plays this song, right? Where like life is never going to be the same again. It's like the lyrics to the song. And I can just imagine that going through your brain at that point, but not with the song, right? Yeah. Like, not in a positive way, but you're like, life is never going to be the same.
Yeah, I'm going to jail for life. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm fucked. But yeah, long and behold, later, years later, I was fighting it in court. I got 2 felonies, misdemeanor, house arrest, 3 years probation, a bunch of just craziness, and I found real estate. And so during that time, when I was in the hospital, I realized, man, if I could be successful at the time, going down the wrong path, right? God knows what could happen if I got on the right path. And so I was selling Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door. I got good at that because I was used to selling something different. And then I door knocked onto a real estate guy, his house, and he recruited me into his company. I loved it. I saw like the light bulbs go off of all the systems in place, and I just fell in love with it. So years later, I went down a rabbit hole of books, podcasts, YouTube, and that's how I started like falling in love with real estate. I went down that path, but I used credit to be able to do it all. And years later, we have 8.5 million in real estate assets. We collect about 48,000 a month on passive income. Still have to put in work here and there and put out the fires, but for real estate, we collect about 48K, which is awesome. And yeah, man, real estate has changed my life. Credit is like the catalyst that did it.
Yeah. Okay. So how old are you at this point when you door knock on this guy's door and start getting into real estate?
Yeah, it was like 20. I was like 22, maybe 23, something along those lines. It was it's like 13 or 14. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So no college, I'm assuming.
No. Hard knocks, baby. So, after my explosion and I was fighting court, like trial, for 2 years, they highly encouraged me to do something productive with my life. So I wrote a book down the, this one, Action Driven. And then I went to school and I did like a trade school. I learned like auto upholstery and some other random stuff, a couple real estate classes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
actually it's really interesting because I have I live in like suburbia, so we get like
Yeah.
all the door to door salesmen. And every time they walk up, I'm like, "What's your commission? What do you take home from this?"
Yeah.
You start asking them some questions, and they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "What are you doing right now?
Dude,
you want to
door
check
to
out my
door
wholesale?"
sales is the best. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you can do door to door sales and you've been doing it's not like your first or second week in the game and you've been doing it 6 to 12 months, like keep them for
right.
sure. I try to recruit the same.
That's a good piece of advice right there. Just
Yeah.
recruit the door knockers that come on your
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got the grit, they can put in the hard work. And if you can set them up with a good vision, a good plan, and they can get compensated well, it's like it's a no-brainer.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and so did I hear you correctly? You said you're collecting 48K a month right now on
Yep.
the real estate side?
Yeah,
Oh,
and so we typically do the burst strategy. I've done fix and flips here and there. Not a huge fan. I prefer to keep my money and the tax benefits, cost segregations. But we have properties in Ohio, Arizona, San Diego, and New Jersey. We had in New York in the past, but we got out of that. So yeah, we got 5 ground up constructions going on. A lot of Airbnb, short term rentals, long term rentals, and yeah.
nice. So property management in place for most of these, or is that in-house?
No, I'm psycho, right? I'm crazy. So I like to just put the pressure on. And so we've never it's something that I want to stop making this excuse, but it's been really difficult starting off with properties in Ohio and other areas like New Jersey and so forth to be able to find good property managers that actually give a damn, that
Mm,
will care more about your property than you. I just haven't found it. They've all been like criminals. So therefore, I've always just built the systems around how to manage and lead property. We have certain points of contacts that are basically my property managers, but a contractor that handles everything really.
Yeah. Okay.
nice.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a great opportunity to start asking about some fuck ups here. Um,
Yeah.
like as you're looking at these different markets and self managing, what are
Yeah.
some of the things that you fucked up along the way there, and then what are you doing now to prevent those from happening?
Yeah, man. So, screening originally when I first got started, especially long distance, not being able to like I'm a good body language type of read a person face to
Mhm.
face. I think I am at least. I've been proven wrong though at some times as well.
Yeah. Right.
Um but what I would tell you is that, I've had people that ended up going through difficult times about, started off first 6 months good, the second 6 months of their lease horrible. Like guy turned into a drug addict, a different random type of drug of like huffing cans I had no idea about, and then but made him all like crazy. And and so I got the wife let me in, verbally said that I could go in because I was in town. She wasn't there. She's at work. He's scattering around like a cockroach in the house, like scaring the shit out of me. And then when I'm like coming in, he's not answering, like, hello,
Yeah.
and, and, um, and he pulls out a shotgun out of nowhere when I come around the corner. I was like, whoa. So
Oh man.
yeah, luckily I had my partner with me at the time too, that we were both just thrown back. But yeah, we found like guns to our head was enough. But we started screening a little bit differently after that, more like a bank. I'd rather have a vacancy for longer and really make sure that I get the cream of the crop type of tenant in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a bunch of fuck ups. So I think one as well is like I found a homemade bomb next to one of my houses, which was quite fun as well. That was a great story.
Oh my gosh. Well, what we have to hear that one. Like, is this a tenant that has a homemade bomb sitting in the alley or something? What is that
You
all
know,
about?
it was vacant at the time. So the property was vacant. It was the same property actually. So something needs to go about this property. I think it says a lot.
Not in the right neighborhood. This is a classy
No,
neighborhood,
no,
I'm thinking.
yeah, real classy is what I'd say. But so I'm just cleaning up the outside area. I saw a bunch of these bricks next to like kind of the front deck, and I went to clean up the bricks, make it look a little bit nicer, and I saw there was like something hidden in a bag. So I pulled out the bag and I went to go throw it away, and I realized like, oh shit, there's something in it. Let me look, and it was like straight a red like canister that had like a little fuse in the middle, and it looked homemade as hell, and it didn't look right. And
Wow.
so I had to catch a flight in like an hour. And so I was like, I'm not going to call the cops and have them take forever to get over here and cause a scene. I'll just throw it in the back of the rental. I'll take it down there and we'll call it a day.
The
And
bomb?
so, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, real stupid, man. Real high IQ over here. But so when I took it down to because it was like a 10-minute drive, so I just drove it downtown, and my dumbass just brings it straight into the
into a police station. Yeah,
Yep.
that was smart.
Real intelligent. So I'm
You
knocking
didn't
on their
catch
little
that flight.
Well, I did, surprisingly. Like, I couldn't believe they let me go. They could just tell the stupidity of like, wow, this guy's a moron. We're not going to be able to get anything from him.
They're in the back like, he fucking drove it here.
Yeah. No, but once I knocked on the door, I was like, hey, and I didn't verbally like state it out until I did. And then once I did, it was all just like logical in my head. Like, oh, I got a plane to catch. Like, I can't leave it here. You guys are going to take forever. I'll just drive it down. And that was my thinking. I was like, I can't wait for like bomb squad to get like, that's not happening. So once I got there, knocked on the door, and then I stayed it out like, hey, well, this sounds weird now. You know, I think in this bag there might be a homemade bomb. I found next to my house. I got a plane to catch. Can I drop it? Like, should I leave it right here? And they're like, are you telling me you brought a homemade bomb into the? I was like, well, it's not. I didn't make it. You know, I found it next to my home. It looks homemade. I thought maybe you could do something with it versus me. And they were like, get out of the police department, go across the street and stay there. And I was like, so you want me to just hang on to the bomb now that we're all scared? You brought it to my attention. I don't want to hang on to it either. But it was real stupidity. And yeah, a lot of questioning afterwards, interrogation. And then after that, I was able to go.
Wow. And you made the flight.
Good times. Yeah, I made it, baby.
Unbelievable.
That is amazing.
This is
stupid. Amazingly stupid, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you said the credit has really been the thing that has gotten you to where you are with real estate. So how did you acquire, right? You said you're at like 8.5 million in assets. You got this 45K nut every month, which is amazing. And you do the credit counseling now because you've seen how much that has helped you within your real estate journey. So kind of break that down a little for us.
Yeah, so Credit Counsel Elite was all formed just for the simple fact that I saw so many people like wanting to be a part of real estate, saying, yes, like, please, I want to do real estate. I want to get the financial freedom, but they needed the capital and they believed that what they were doing over here to make money, they were going to one day use that money to put into real estate. And I was looking at it from a distance like, well, fuck, like, what if that doesn't get you money? Mm-hmm. What if that takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years and all this time passes you by? Like, then what? What's your backup plan? And they didn't really have one. And for me, I was looking at it like, dude, I was broke. Like, I didn't have any money. I just wanted real estate so bad. When there's a will, there's a way, that I was able to figure out how to get money from the banks. You know, I was able to figure out how to get business credit, 0% interest, and be able to leverage it. Like, we've purchased properties with credit cards. I've completed all my remodels with credit cards. That's given me protection against contractors. It also gives me like a nice little pat on the back bonus afterwards that I can go on like a free vacation after. Right. So it's like, I just saw so many lucrative benefits behind it. And I was like, dude, why don't you do that too? Right. And so years later, we started teaching people how to do it. And like, people were getting incredible results in like 2-3 weeks that knew nothing about real estate, nothing about credit. And I was shocked, you know, I was like, well, shit, but it was really fulfilling. And so it just, you know, spiraled into us helping out a lot of people. And so, yeah, we've helped out hundreds or thousands of people at this point in Credit Counsel Elite. But yeah, we teach people how to get a shitload of funding, you know, business credit, 0% interest. And then after they get all the funding, they, you know, put it to work. And that's what we've done.
I love that you have that because I have a stack on my desk too. But I mean, it's
Let's
like
go.
Look
nowhere
at the
near,
size of
right?
my
Yeah.
stack compared to his stack.
No, we got
Hold them up.
stacks. We all got
Let me see.
stacks.
Where's
I'm
that other
like,
one? That other one was thick.
I'm like,
Thicker than
that
a
was
Snicker, baby. Come on.
insane.
Damn, look at all that.
That's a whole lot of credit. All right, so me and Jake might be some new clients on the credits. I mean, I thought I had a pretty decent stack here, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling light now.
You know,
So,
a lot of people don't realize, like, just statistically out there's 9,500 banks nationwide. They all want to lend to us. People are just fucking it up. Like they don't know what to say to them. We're all playing real life Monopoly here, except nobody understands the rules of the game.
mhm.
So they're getting denied. And so, yeah, I mean, the world record for the most amount of credit cards, open active credit cards from one human being, it's like 1,700 something, like 1,800. It's crazy. And then the world record for the most one individual got in like brand new in 1 year's time frame is 143, with his best friend getting 138, just 5 shy. So that's like the power of your network, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty incredible.
That's a whole lot of credit cards.
On the fuck up note here, though, I want to kind of selfishly ask this. So,
Please.
how long after you kind of you got into real estate? I'm assuming you had everything set up, LLCs and everything. How long after all of that did you shift? No.
No, I'm telling you, dude, I fucked it up. I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have any guidance. I was putting it in my personal name. I was buying it with credit cards. I was like winging it.
Wow.
And then I finally got some mentors. I finally got some like guidance, and they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. Like I grew up in New Jersey. Like I didn't have any, I'm just doing this and we're figuring it out as we go. And luckily I've had patient mentors in my life to help guide me afterwards. But yeah.
Okay, so from that point, how long was it until you started Credit Elite? And
Yeah.
do you think that, spreading your attention out among a couple of different things, what are some of the fuck ups that you incurred there?
Yeah. So we started Credit Counsel Elite in 2019, like officially, right? However, 2017, I started randomly helping out some people. I went to one mastermind group and we had a bunch of people. It was in Cancun. It was a bunch of people there, like 170, 80 people. And so everybody just started like kind of spreading my story and asking a bunch of questions to me. And then they asked me to come on stage one day and like talk more about it. So we ended up getting like 20, 30 people, clients that wanted to pay me like desperately to show them how. And afterwards, that's where it kind of started spiraling. And, but 2019, we made it more official instead of me just doing Zoom calls. And what I would say is real estate, I've always been like somebody that's done like 4 to 5 deals max per year. Like I don't really want to do more than that. I don't want to build out like a huge team for real estate. I could. I just don't necessarily see myself getting out of it in that case for some reason. Like I know so many people like in our circles have systemized it so well that they've gotten out.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always like I've gotten more fulfillment showing people the credit side of things, and just being able to kind of blow past the time frames that it took me to be able to get started overall.
But so you had been in real estate for a while before you started the credit.
Yeah. Several years. Yep.
Yeah. So that was kind of like at that point, I'm assuming chugging along, you're already getting passive income, you're kind of locked in, at least with the systems that you have right now, you can comfortably do those 4 to 5 deals a year without taking all of your time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So we have systemized both to a certain degree. Like for Credit Counsel Elite, we have 22 employees. So it's definitely, they run with our vision. I'm the weakest on our team, by the way. Like they are the all-stars and I just cast the vision and they believe in it so much that they're like, let's run with this. And they crush it. So I'm very thankful for our team because without them, like we wouldn't be anywhere. But kind of going back to your point, Jake, when it comes down to chasing multiple rabbits, like you'll never catch any, is how I've always been a firm believer. I think we've built up over time our reputation in the real estate space that in our area and where we want to market to, we randomly have like wholesalers and certain people that know that we will perform. And if I, submit an offer, I'll close on it every time. So therefore I get like several leads across my desk per week. And I really just cherry pick every once in a while. And I really go for like the home runs, like something I'm going to make like not like 100, but like a quarter or a $500,000 on. And so those are the type of deals I like to go after that I just can't resist, really.
Nice.
I always love hearing that from people because I'm in such a low price point market. Like the ARV on these things is less than a quarter,
Yeah. It's, and I used to be terrified of it, dude. I used to be terrified of the numbers out here in San Diego. That's why I started investing 3,000 miles away in, Ohio. I never lived in Ohio. I never visited Ohio before I started investing over there. And so it's just like, it made me feel comfortable. But once numbers are numbers, and once you understand your market, you know your competition, and you know how to come out with a good product. The cool part out here is that I can get the tax benefits, the cost segregation. I can have no money into it. I can still do the burst strategy if I do it properly. And we can build ADUs out here for like $300 a square foot, but it's worth $1,000 a square foot afterwards. It's like, it's just some crazy, and the appreciation out here. You should never bet on appreciation, but on a market that has very high appreciation, like 20% each year, it's like, holy shit. How can you not, take that into consideration at the end of the day? Yeah. Where Ohio, I'm not going to see appreciation till I die. Like, it's never going to come.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's a different mindset, right? In each one of those markets, that you're getting into one for cash flow, and you're getting into one for appreciation. And that's part of the game, right? That's
I feel very lucky and blessed at that. I started over there because I was working in restaurants. Like I didn't have like a career, but I got started in real estate and I went for cash flow. I wanted to, like, my mortgages over there I have no money into it. I got paid out on a couple of them, and my mortgages are like $200 a month, but they rent out for $1,000 plus. So it's like, how, my worst day ever in life, if I could cover $200 a month, I'll be okay. And when it rents out for that much more higher, it's just like, wow, it's incredible. And I'm glad that I went after like 10, 12 properties out there first before I did anything else. Kind of a little bit more, I wouldn't say sketchy or risque, but trying other things.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more before we wrap up here. I want to hear, you said you have 22 employees in the credit counseling side. Mm-hmm. And what does that look like? So do you have different like levels? Are you helping people build their personal credit, business credit, all the things? Just give us kind of the quick rundown of what that company looks like.
Yeah, I actually have randomly, you guys won't be able to see it that well, but I got like my little accountability chart right here.
Nice.
So we hired on an EOS implementer for the book Traction. Oh, yes. And it's been game changer. But
we know that well.
First on the shelf right there.
I was gonna say it's literally
Let's go, baby. Yes, it's a game changer.
That's actually our VTO right there too, behind me.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. I got mine in the corner here. So yeah. But yeah, we just had our meeting yesterday, so I have it like very freshly right here. But yeah, our key leadership roles, we have sales, we have marketing, we have operations, we have finance, and those kind of are like our leadership team members. Of course, I'm the visionary up top. I have an integrator below that. His key role, he's like my right hand man. He makes sure shit gets done, and I don't need to babysit as much. And then afterwards, we have a lot of components of people below each one of those main functions that really just makes our world of Credit Counseling Elite spin round. So it's been a huge blessing at the end of the day. It really has.
So if I came to your website, what do you guys offer?
Yeah, so we offer the cool part about us versus other companies out there is like Credit Counsel Elite, we offer the whole kit and caboodle. We really have a one-stop shop. We're going to teach you how the banks and lenders are judging you, how to fix your own credit very quickly, and then afterwards how to boost up your score, stay in the 800 club FICO score, get there and stay there in 30 days or less guaranteed. And then after that, how to be able to put a lot of these applications, these cards in the right order. Okay, there's a science behind it on how to get anywhere from 10 to 50 plus cards in the right order when you're doing your mass apply so that you can get a 90% approval odds. After you get all that funding, we'll show you business credit, personal credit, liquidating it into cash, and then leveraging it into assets, travel hacking, all that nonsense. So we are a one-stop shop for sure.
So there's like all this horrible information out there, as there is with any topic now in the world that we live in. Misinformation is running rampant, right? But
it's worse in the credit space. I promise you, it's horrible.
Really I'm sure, and that's where I'm going with this. Probably a little over a year ago, I was pretty much solopreneur before me and Marie, or no, actually it was longer than that. It's probably a year and a half ago before me and Marie actually partnered up.
Yep.
I was like, okay, it's time for some credit cards. And I watched like a bunch of quick videos and everything. And I actually had pulled up a bunch of credit card applications and I tried to do it in like an incognito window, and I had them all open in different tabs. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like go through and just click them as fast as I can so they don't see that I tried to pull everything all at the same time. And it's just like, it wasn't good. It was bad.
Shit show of denial. And you're like, no. Yeah, so this is the key factor. You want to, when you're doing your mass apply, you're not going to do it all in one day, 50 cards in one day. You are going to start it and stop it in about a 30-day time frame. That's how long you have. And then you can repeat it every 6 months.
Gotcha.
But you want to, whether you apply for 1 or 50 cards, it'll make the same impact to your credit profile. So that's why you do all, but you not in 1 day time frame or 1 hour. You got to
like 1 minute, man. I was just like,
no, you want to do it over a certain time frame. But this is the thing that a lot of people sleep on too. Like everybody is like, whether you're in the 800 club or 300 club, you need a little bit of fixing. Everybody. The good news is if you're already close to the 800s, you don't have any late, derogatory, and delinquent, like it will take about 5 minutes of your time. And then you can move on to the build and move fast forward through that. So anyway, we are a for-purpose business. So everybody that does invest with us, we give 10% to nonprofits that we believe in supporting. Nice. We built 3 new homes in Mexico last year, which was pretty proud of, and supplied like clean water to thousands of people, which was pretty cool. But yeah, people can check out our website. It's creditcounselelite.com. It's www.creditcounselelite.com. They can check out and get a second opinion from us, because like Jake and I said, we all said it's just so many myths out there. It's a nonsense and just shit show of an experience. You should be very skeptical, and you should pop quiz me, like test me on all of it. We have guarantees, and we really have this stuff locked down. We truly do.
Nice. That's awesome. All right, Jake, you got any last questions before we wrap up?
If you had 2 minutes to make the most impactful, the biggest lesson that you've had, like the biggest fuck up, the biggest lesson, one person is listening to this, they walk away and they're like, I'm never going to do what Brandon did. I'm so glad I heard that. What would it be?
Yeah. For the longest time, I used to put money on the pedestal. When you come up broke or you don't have any money, money is everything. Mm-hmm. So you'll do anything for money, and it's horrible to have that mindset, because it's scared money doesn't make money. And so you're going to hoarder it, and you're wondering why it's so hard to get more of it. Over the years, I've really deleted and eliminated that pedestal of money, and I use it as the tool that it is. I really try to think what's the worst case scenario, and I use it like real life Monopoly. Like just like when we're all at the table playing Monopoly, you spend it really quickly. You don't give a damn. You're trying to buy up the properties. That's exactly how I treat it. And it's pretty funny, and it's ironic how much that money comes back tenfold, like a boomerang, really quick. And so when you stop putting it on the pedestal and you actually use it for the tool that it is, then there's something special. You're not a slave to it anymore. And when you're investing in yourself to get your butts in the right high level rooms, there's something special and magical behind that. So
yeah,
love it. Thank you. No.
yeah, I love that. That's great advice. And I can relate to that so much, right? I grew up, my mom had 5 of us to raise.
Yeah.
Parents got divorced, then my stepfather passed away, and so then she was a widow with 5 kids. Like, it's crazy what you'll do. And similar to you, I started working at a really young age, you know, back those cash under the table type of deals, but whatever I could get my hands on, I was like, I want to work. So anyway, thank you for being our guest.
Yeah.
I think Jake's like, oh, my kids are screaming, but I'm
I
so
love it,
excited.
man. Let him yell.
I know. I'm like, it's fine, Jake.
Yeah.
You know, a few years ago, my score was also in the 800s. I actually, at one point, me and my husband were getting a new Volvo. We were getting a Volvo XC90. And I remember they ran my credit and the guy came back and it was like the manager of the Volvo dealership came up to me and he was like, this is like the highest credit score that I've seen in like 30 years. Right. I still had my W-2 job and we had real estate on the side. So I was like doing everything and was making good money. And yeah, I don't even remember what it was. It was 8 something, but he was like, this is like the highest credit score I've ever seen on paper. He was so impressed. Now we're in the 7s somewhere, but not too shabby. But anyway, thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys. You guys are rock stars. Keep doing what you're doing. Got nothing but love and respect for it. So you guys are amazing. Appreciate you. Anything that I could do to add value to you guys?
I mean,
we're going to come be guests on your podcast.
Yes. Come on. That would be amazing. Let's do that. And yeah, we'll impact more people. That'll be great.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone should definitely check you guys out at Credit Counsel Elite. Are you still buying properties? Where are you still buying properties if somebody wants to send you a deal?
Yeah, San Diego. Don't spam me, please. But if you got a real good deal, like, cause I'm greedy as hell. I'm greedy. I really am. So, but if you have something with a lot of meat on it and you want to get compensated, then I'm your guy to reach out to. I can close and perform. No issues. So we got enough credit to back it up.
I love that. All right. Thank you again. Appreciate your time. Any last
You guys are amazing.
No, just the explosive episode. And if I ever have any questions about a homemade bomb, I'm calling you, man.
Call me up. Hit me up.